welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I get to bring you along for a first time canning project for me. I'm going to can shrimp, as you saw in the title. And I only saw a couple of videos out there on this, but I've read every canning book that I have on the guidelines, and they all are pretty straight across the board. So what I've got is 6 pounds of 41 to 50 count shrimp. And right now, you thaw them out. I've got them in my 12-quart stock pot with a brine solution. You need to boil them for 10 minutes, and it's for each gallon of water, and I have 2 gallons of water. Each gallon of water you add a cup of vinegar and a cup of salt. So there's 2 of each of those in there, and 2 gallons of water. We're going to boil that for 10 minutes, then we're going to rinse them off in cold water and peel them. They're already deveined, so I don't have to deal with that. And then we're going to start packing them in the jars. And so it's not recommended by the ball canning book. It's not recommended in any of the books that you do any larger of a jar than half pint to a pint, no larger than a pint jar. So, and I can't see a need. If I needed more than a pint of shrimp for a meal for my husband and I'll open up another pint. So it's not a big deal. Anyways. I am taking the word of a fellow YouTuber that they taste fantastic and that they aren't rubbery or anything else. So we've got the All-American canner out again, and our jars are in the dishwasher. So I'll bring you back after I get them all peeled. So I know I said I'd be back after I got these all peeled, but this is a big bowl of shrimp. And I've watched both of the videos I found, and I also read over the instructions in a couple of books. And the brine that they have you actually pour over it in your jars, in your hot jars, hot brine over these shrimp, it says to bring it to a boil, and it has you add some salt. Very little salt, but I've tasted these and they're quite salty, so I'm going to omit the salt because I don't see that that's going to change how the end result comes out. I don't think you could not do the first step of boiling it for 10 minutes in that brine solution though. So I just wanted to clarify that. So I'm just going to get to peeling and get these all peeled and set them in a bowl. And then I'll get packed in jars, and I'll bring you back for that. And I'm not kidding when I tell you, they're good. Perfect texture. All right. I better wipe up and turn off the camera. Okay, so I'm finally ready to load my jars. And shrimp shrink up. I did eat a few, but I didn't eat that many. This would be a great project to have a helper with because it's time consuming. I started this whole process an hour and 45 minutes ago. So that being said, you know, that was thawing these out, getting them rinsed off really well, boiling them for 10 minutes, cooling them down, and peeling them all. I mean, there's a lot of shrimp here. So we're ready to load our jars. And these jars are warm. They're still steamed. I don't know if you can see that. And like I said, I'm not going to go ahead and salt the water or use salty water. I'm going to go ahead and pour hot water, though, over my lids. And I've got both wide mouth and regular mouth lids. And these shrimp are nice and cold. I kept them iced down, you know. Food safety. So you want a ½ inch or an inch of headspace. Let's see what it says. I always double check. It says 1 inch of headspace. So 1 inch of headspace, that's right there to that bottom rim. And, you know, just to eyeball it. And then again, you don't want to use larger than a pint jar, but that's a lot of shrimp. That's plenty for 2 people. It'd be great for shrimp salad, for tacos, shrimp Creole. There's a neat recipe for Creole sauce in here that I'm going to try. Let's see, one more in that one, I think. And there you go. Now, pour my hot water to the 1 inch of headspace. And this one as well, a little bit. And you want to debubble I'm gonna try to get any air bubbles out of this. So you got your debubbler wand handy. Use the other end, it's a little easier. And I see bubbles coming up, so you definitely want everybody underwater. What a pretty product, I'm telling you. And to eat them, you don't taste vinegar at all, so I will bring you along for the first time that I cook with this. Wipe the rim of my jar with vinegar and check that rim. Nothing's going to live through this, but it's really good to be safe. And I dropped. All right. So we've got, of course, the narrow. Put your lids on. And I'm not using tattlers today. I'm trying to get rid of, I think I've told you this in a different video, trying to get rid of some of my stockpile of lids and get down to a manageable point. There was a while there that every time I went to the store, I bought lids. And so all these lids are the old ones that you don't have to worry about them popping open after a year, at least, you know, but you've got to use good practices. So in the canner it goes, and that is really a pretty product. So I'm gonna get all the rest of them done. I'll let you know. So my canner is ready. I came up with 6 pint jars, and that's plenty. That's about 6 pounds, which is what I had. It's probably a little bit less because I ate a few, and they do shrink up, but I'm totally happy with 6 of them. And then we can try it out in different recipes and see if I want to do some more. I'm totally trusting my other YouTubers that these are delicious. So my jars are in here. My canner has been warm. I keep it right around 180 degrees while it's holding jars until it's time to go ahead and put the canner. So there's a notch out of there. Go ahead and pull my canner out a little. And you want to line up on the All-American canner. You're going to line up this, there's an arrow on top here, and you just slide it. This hooks up under here in a couple of spots, and you're ready to lock her down. And you go opposites from each other and just start tightening these flywheels or wing nuts. Not sure what they're called. And same over here. And our vent hole is clear. And I'll tell you, when I get done canning, what I do is I get my canner ready for the next canning session. So I make sure I wash it really good with hot soapy water. I'm not a canner that just keeps canning in the same dirty pot, because stuff comes out of your jars, so you got to make sure that wash the canner with hot soapy water, inspect everything that there's no mineral buildup, and then I go ahead and put some petroleum jelly on the rim of that, and I'm ready to go. I make sure the inside's very dry. I put a couple paper towels in the bottom, put the racks in there, and my weight goes inside the canner, not outside, because I really feel like you could accidentally have that weight left on and not get the proper venting time. So the weight is stored inside my canner. So we're going to bring this up to, it's going to come up to venting stage, where out of this porthole there's going to vent a steady stream of steam. We're going to let that vent for 10 full minutes, and then we'll put the 15-pound weight, and that's for my altitude. If you are down by sea level, it would only be 10 pounds. It just depends on where you are in the country or around the world. And let that come up to a full 15 pounds of pressure. When it does, I can start my timer. And these only are in the canner 45 minutes. So now it's safe to open our canner. And again, we're going to go opposites. And these are warm, but they're not so warm that I can't touch them. but they're tight. And so we want to make sure, loosen those. I love that noise. Okay, now it's time to open the canner. And I am going to very carefully come towards me because my clearance, that's the only reason. And I would never move this canner for any other reason. I wouldn't go from one burner to a cool burner. I wouldn't do any of that. I think that if you have a glass stove, you have to figure it out. Let the steam out, and I can't lift it this way, so I have to lift it and make sure that, you're just being safe. Ooh, can't wait. I'm excited. It was a little bit of work to do this, but not like it's hard work, just time consuming. Oh, and look how pretty they are. Look at that. Beautiful canned shrimp. Oh. Can't wait to use these in a recipe. And, ooh, I hear some pinging. Pinging. So 6 pints of shrimp. And I got these shrimp on sale, and that's why I went ahead and canned them, because I don't know if any of you have noticed, but seafood has gone up extremely high in the last 6 months to a year. And I can feel that this lid got pretty loose in the canning process. You got to know that these jars are moving around in there a little bit, and so the lids will tend to, or the rings will tend to loosen up on you. But I'm not going to mess with these at all. They're on there. As they cool, it's going to form a vacuum and suck those lids down. And I can see that this one, and this one are already sealed. These two, no. That one, maybe. So, that being said, I hope it inspires you to go ahead and try your hand at canning shrimp. If you can get it on sale and it's a decent price, it's a little bit of work peeling the shrimp, but I think you could even maybe find them already peeled, save yourself some time. It's not hard, and it will come in handy. There's 6 meals here for my husband and I that I can have: sweet and sour shrimp, stir-fry shrimp, Creole shrimp, pretty much anything I want. Or just throw it into like a war wonton soup, and it's quick and easy. All right, guys. If it inspires you, go ahead and get the thumbs up. And if you really like this video, share it on your Facebook page, because there's not a lot of videos out there on canning shrimp. I only found 2. And so I'll be number 3. And I'll let you know in the future, the first time I use this, I'll be sure and bring you along and let you know exactly how it tastes and what the texture is and everything. But it looks beautiful. I'm really happy with it. All right, guys. Go check the links below, because I'm going to have a link to this baby, because we love this, and maybe some other canning supplies. All right, guys, I'll see you.